Good evening. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the Common Council for Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Will the clerk please call the attendance roll?
Alderman Benyon.
Here.
Alderman Panis. Alderwoman Forney.
Here.
Alderwoman McCall.
Here.
Alderman Robinson.
Here.
Alderman Anastasia.
Here.
And President Crawford.
Here, please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of this community. In your name we pray.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the minutes of the previous regular meeting.
The regular meeting of the Olean Common Council was held on Tuesday, October 8, 2024 at 6:05 p.m. Present were Alderman Crawford, Benyon, Panis, Forney, McCall, Robinson, and Anastasia. None were absent.
I'll make a motion to approve the previous minutes. Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderwoman Forney. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Committee reports and unfinished council business.
None?
Communications from the mayor.
Thank you. We have a proclamation tonight for Manufacturers Month. Frank, would you read the proclamation, please?
Special proclamation for Manufacturing Month 2024. Whereas the city of Olean is proud of its manufacturing sector and corporate leaders who are reaching out to the local community to grow candidates for the highly skilled jobs they need to fill their workforce. Whereas manufacturing is dependent on innovation and fresh approaches to fuel productivity and economic development, which in turn expands employment opportunities and boosts the standard of living and economic vitality. Whereas this year, CA Diddy, Cattaraugus, Allegheny, Dream It, Do It will provide 2 months of tours and activities celebrating Olean's manufacturing base. Whereas the city of Olean is supportive of the CA Diddy partnership between our local manufacturing sector and our schools that will provide the needed skills to our area's young people and keep them in the community. Now therefore I, William J. Alio, Mayor of Olean, New York, USA, on behalf of the Common Council do hereby proclaim October and November to be manufacturing months in the city of Olean, New York, USA, and in testimony thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the city of Olean on the 22nd day of October, 2024. For the city of Olean, New York, signed William J. Alio, Mayor.
And tonight we have Evelyn Sabini from Dream It, Do It. I will present the certificate to her, and she's going to introduce some of the people she has with her that have also participated in Dream It, Do It.
Thank you, Mr. Alio. This evening we have with us Kate Cook, student and former always intern since he was this big, of Dream It, Do It. Kathy Cook, who is a teacher at Oswego Valley, but also works with Dream It, Do It. Carol McClellan, who is a teacher at Bolivar Richburg and also works with Dream It, Do It. We have Nathaniel McClellan, who is a Dream It, Do It intern and a soapbox derby car driver. And we have Teddy McClellan, who has been a Dream It, Do It intern and a student with us for a long time. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Could we get a quick picture with you, Mr.
Sure.
Mayor?
How will we get it? So we have no miscellaneous communications. How about city official reports?
None. Monthly report of the city auditor, month ended September 2024, financial summary as of September 30th, 2024.
Proposed legislation or referrals?
Appeal number 97-24 by Mayor Elio, referred to regular meeting Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024 for resolution by Council President.
Okay, before I open it up to public comment, I'd like to give an opportunity to any of the aldermen to make a statement at this time. Alderwoman McCall.
I just want to say how much I appreciate the work that went into between the code enforcement, the council, and the mayor in changing the code enforcement regulations, which allows us to prosecute landlords that are providing substandard housing for our residents. We've talked about the importance of safe, affordable housing, so I just want to say how much I appreciate, and I've gotten several positive comments from a number of people regarding what they saw in the newspaper. I've reported on it, but also that hopeful that this continues and that we see some of the houses that have declined significantly brought up to standards, and so I know the community appreciates the work.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, seeing nothing further, will the clerk please read the public comment statement?
Public comment portion of the Olean Common Council regular meeting is established to provide members of the community with the opportunity to publicly state their views, voice their concerns, or to provide input pertaining to any issue affecting city government. Additionally, the mayor, common council members, and city department heads encourage any person with questions to contact them at their offices.
Okay, at this time, I'll invite any members of the public to approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, please. You'll have 5 minutes.
My name is Nova Meck, and I live at 321 South Berry Street, and I should not have to be here. The sidewalk in front of 4 Mile Brewery has never, not once, been fully cleared in the entire time that I have been talking to you. After the meeting I attended 2 months ago, there was significant progress, to be sure, and I appreciate it. I legitimately cried when I saw that the thicket had been cut back. Do you know how humiliating that was? To cry because one man had finally been forced to take care of his garden. But that humiliation was overshadowed by a deep, dense depression. When I went out to finally get groceries, and I discovered that the thorn bush that I've repeatedly talked about was not taken care of. The mayor called me 2 months ago to check up on me, which I was truly touched by. No one has shown that level of empathy to me until that moment. I told him about the thorn bushes, and then I waited. Nothing happened. So I called the Department of Public Works twice. Nothing happened. So I called the mayor's office and left a message because he was out of town. My call was never returned. My back is worse now. I collapsed in a parking lot over the weekend because it gave out on me, and I've been told by multiple specialists that I'm having nerve issues now. I am in a great deal of pain. I shouldn't even be here, sitting in chairs which do not support my body, making a fool of myself in front of a room of fully grown adults, asking them over and over to get across the idea that sunlight and water make plants grow, that if they are not trimmed, they will continue to grow. None of the bushes have been trimmed since that one time 2 months ago. There are even more weeds in the sidewalk space, including a thorny vine at ankle height. The mature thorn bush is close to 10 inches into the sidewalk now. The volunteer one has grown back. The grass has been left to run wild again. I have asked you all repeatedly for help. I've been told by the mayor not to allow this to keep happening. I ask you all how? How do I do this when emails and phone calls do nothing? When I have to hurt myself by coming here, to sit in chairs which don't adequately support my body, to stand on a hard surface as my back begins to collapse out from under me, for the chance for help. My back is only this bad because of this bush issue. And what of the other residents? The people who walk their dogs, the children who play along the sidewalk, and what's going to happen when Halloween comes? Why does one man's laziness overrule common sense? Why has this been allowed to continue for so long? I'm not asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars to be spent. I'm not asking for sweeping changes. I'm asking for one business to follow the law. Walkable Olean is a cruel joke if we can't even get down the block. I just wanted to get groceries. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else?
Good evening. Again, my name is Steve Rogers. I live at 867 North 4th Street. I'm actually just coming because I have a couple of questions for you all, and then I'm really hoping that we can kind of work together to correct a wrong in this city. My first question is, do any of you feel that any industrial zoned building, in this one specifically a light industrial zone building within the city limits, be able to burn wood as its heat source? My second question is, should that burning last from sunup to sundown directly next to a residential neighborhood? My third question is, if the noxious smells of that burning caused health concerns for you and your loved ones, would you do nothing? I've been in contact with my alderman, with the mayor's office. I feel like if we do not have any current codes or ordinances in the city which help regulate light industrial zones, especially once they're butted up against residential neighborhoods, we definitely need to fix that. I actually have done research on this and can show, would have no problem obviously providing paperwork to anybody from this council if you would like it. It's very hard to kind of try to find the same type of situation because most districts are like in a complete zone, and anything before it, it's like they're called like L1 district areas. But most places actually, prohibit their use, prohibit manufacturing in those areas if they produce any objectable noise, dust, vibrations, noxious fumes, smokes, or odors. And all the structures inside of an L1 area need to be enclosed. The building that have made the mayor aware of is none of these things, and it does produce vibrations and noise and smoke. The smoke has subsided recently, obviously, with the heat wave that we've been having in the city, but I would really like to work with you all towards the goal of preventing this from happening in any type of future event. So, thank you very much for your time. If anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I would very much like to remedy this wrong in the city. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? This time I'll call public comment closed. Finance and bills.
The auditor has processed bills and claims against the city of Olean as per list submitted to each alderman and recommends payment thereof. Whereas the auditor has presented to the common council bills and claims against the city of Olean totaling $2,905,404.22 for the budget and recommends payment thereof. Now therefore be it resolved that the same be and are hereby audited and allowed, and the auditor is hereby authorized and directed to draw warrants for the payment thereof at the amount set opposite each respective claim.
We've all received copies of our finance and bills, had a chance to go over them. Are there any comments or questions? Not seeing any, I'll entertain a sponsor.
Sponsor.
Motion is made by Alderman Forney. I'll go ahead and second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Benyon,
Yes.
Alderman Panis, Alderwoman Forney,
Yes.
Alderwoman McCall,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia,
Yes.
and President Crawford.
Yes.
The resolution passes. Resolution number 101-24, PL number 97-24, resolution authorizing the transfer of funds from general fund balance to line item 3650.447.
Okay, this was discussed a couple times in committee. So at this time, I would ask if any aldermen have any comments or questions. Alderman Robinson.
Thanks, John. This one here, I know when we discussed, I had mentioned that we needed to get some feedback from the city attorney, and instead we got a response from a code enforcement officer. Then when it was suggested for funding, it was mentioned that we can use the general fund balance. At the time, we did not have the actual balance that was available to the council. Knowing what the current balance is, my suggestion is that we start over from square one and find another alternative. I believe that we should not dip into the general fund personally any longer this year. But for this substantial amount, and for good reason. One, yes, I do believe that buildings, as was mentioned, are dangerous and they should come down, but at the same time, we are also taking the responsibility from the homeowner to go after the homeowner at a later date. I think we ought to forego that and try to go after the homeowner to take care, or homeowners to take care of their respective properties. And then if the city has another alternative for funding this, then we can look at that. But as far as this PL and using general fund, I'm going to be a no.
Alderman Anastasia.
Yes, I agree 100% with what Vernon said. I remember probably about a month ago, this was brought up the first time. I think it was around September 17th, around that time frame. And we don't own this property. This is not city property. So at that time, I agree with Vernon. We suggested that send it back to the city attorney for his advice, because why should we be spending taxpayer dollars on property the city does not even own? So I will also be voting no on this resolution.
Anyone else? Alderman Benton.
I was just gonna kind of echo Vernon to some degree, but more so with Dave. I think I said it 2 weeks ago that I think it's a bad practice to spend city money to demolish privately owned property. And this is a $100,000 wager on whether or not there's no guarantee that you can even get the lien for a judgment. And I'm not willing, so different from Vernon a little bit. Even if the general fund was healthy, I would still be a no, because that's a $100,000 wager, and I don't think that's the best use of tax money.
Anyone else?
Did we get information back about if something happened, like structurally, like if it fell, was the city liable, or does it go back to the homeowner? Is that the response that we just did not get?
Well, given, I think we received an opinion, but not from our city attorney, because we don't have one.
Right.
That is correct. Any other comments? Yeah, I think it's, anytime we have an opportunity to take care of blight in this community, I'm all for it. Typically in the past, we've owned the blight, or the county has owned the blight. This is a bit of a different circumstance. On one hand, though, I do understand the concern over public safety, but I'm also aware of a number of different blighted structures that were deemed unfit and dangerous, and nothing happened with them for a really long time. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing these taken down, but for almost $100,000, it's a kind of a bitter pill. So I think I'm in agreement with everyone here. I would welcome looking at other alternatives, solutions to bring these structures down, and I'm happy to revisit this. Alderwoman McCall.
I would ask that we do get a legal opinion from someone. I know we don't have a city attorney, but I do think that we do need to have a legal opinion as to whether or not the city is liable. Given the fact we placard them and stuff, that would definitely make me feel more comfortable. I agree. I think that, as JR had said, that we run the risk of people saying, well, just let the city take care of it, and maybe we get made whole, maybe we don't, and it sounds like, I mean, that was October of '23, I think he said, and we just resolved it. But I would like to know the legal opinion on a liability.
Alderman Robinson.
I did have one more thing. Maybe the mayor or maybe Lynn's can answer this. Project number 181 zombie program. Does this qualify? Is a zombie program something totally different?
I'm not sure, I'll have to check with codes on that.
That would be even, right, Bill, that would even be if that's listed as a zombie property registry.
Yeah,
That's that new program, correct?
have to be listed on that, you're right on that, so we'll check into that.
Because we, if I'm not mistaken, code enforcement officer mentioned that we would have to board or somehow secure the property, maybe, I don't know, cone it off, whatever, but, I mean, if that's the case, if it's something that we're saying that this is that dangerous where it needs to come down right now, then maybe the city should cone it off. I haven't driven by there, I don't even know which wards they're in, but cone them off, make them safe from the public, put up some type of signage or whatever. I would imagine we would have that stuff in the city, and then from there, find out if it's labeled as a zombie program, you know, it would qualify under the zombie program, so.
Okay, anything further? All right, we will need a sponsor. If you want to, if anybody wants to sponsor it, vote on it, I'll accept sponsors now. Okay. I don't know if I have to ask 3 times or not. I don't think so. Any sponsors, any sponsors, any sponsors, no sponsors, resolution's dead. Anything before we adjourn? I'll make a motion to adjourn. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman McCall. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion